Hi, this is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Welcome to another edition of Handicapping Your Elite MBA Odds. I'm here with my partner in crime, Sandy
Kreisberg, the HBSguru.com. We've got a very interesting candidate here, John. We're calling him Mr. 780 Butt.
Right.
And there's a number of butts.
And that's a head scratcher, though, because if you hit a 780, man, you've knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. But what?
Okay, well, let's get into the basics. He's a 25-year-old American white male, lives in New York City, LGBT, and he went to a school that's a top 20 school, but in this...
No, he calls it mid-Ivy. Think Columbia Penn.
No, but that's after, right? Because he went to a top 20 school, and sophomore year he transferred out.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And went to mid-Ivy that he calls Columbia or Penn to major.
This is part of the butt, yeah.
Yeah.
His schooling is he starts out at a top 20 school. He gets a 4.0. He transfers to Columbia, Penn, Ivy type school, and then he said there was a personal family event.
Yeah, a hiccup of some kind.
It sounded a little more than a hiccup. So the 4.0 then became a 3.0. So that's one of the butts.
Right. And
780, 4.0 at a mid-tier school, transfers to an Ivy school, grades go down dramatically to 3.0.
Right. So that's one big butt. Then he gets a job at a large commercial bank.
In our world, that's another butt because that's not a selective job or particularly job that people like.
Chase City B of A is sort of the one of those companies he's working at. Doing credit underwriting and risk management, not necessarily a sexy job.
But there's another but.
Yeah, he's been promoted the equivalent of 3 different positions within 2 years, less than 2 years. He is the fastest member of the analyst class nationwide to be promoted to VP, which is a big deal.
So this is a guy who is capable of running super hot.
Yeah.
That is to say, gets a 780, can get a 4.0, can then join a large commercial bank and win really unbelievably selective medals, like getting promoted 3 times and getting the highest analyst score nationwide. Those are all real accomplishments.
And also earn top employee rating given to the best 5% of the employees firm-wide.
Yeah, okay, so he's capable of doing incredible things
amidst
a lot of stumbles, to wit, working for a boring bank, not a selective bank, screwing up his GPA, and there you go. So
now he expects 2 excellent recommendations.
I believe it.
He has spent a year mentoring on underprivileged high school students to get them college ready.
Yeah. Okay.
And now his career goal.
Yeah.
Okay. He wants to be a triple jumper, which is to pivot industry, function, and location to work in corporate strategy for a tech or Fortune 500 company.
Yeah. Would you advise him to say that?
It's too specific, but he does say potentially considering consulting as well. Maybe that should be what he says to the adcoms.
Yeah, following the first one of the 15 commandments of applying to business school.
And incidentally, what
thou cannot go wrong claiming you want to be a consultant. Okay, that's the 11th command. It's the 13th command.
Yeah, and incidentally, here's a little data point for you. You know, the number one profession that people leave and transition to with an MBA is finance to consulting.
I did not know that.
Yep. So, okay, his schools. This is a really interesting range because despite his 780, I think he's quite realistic, if humble, about his choice of schools. Kellogg, Tuck, Ross, Darden, and Fuqua. He says he may apply, not sure, to Harvard, Stanford, or Wharton. So what's your take on the candidate overall?
Apply to Harvard and Wharton. Not getting it. This is not Stanford, despite the 1 year of mentoring people. It's not a classic do-gooder. their mouth would water over the 780, believe me. Stanford is as big a GMAT sucker as there exists on the face of the planet Earth, but Stanford would shake this guy up and down and say, "Can we make it happen? Can we make it happen?" And there's too much. He's white. He's male. He works for a commercial bank. They go, "Man, we take commercial bankers, but they're not white males." And I don't think the LGBT is going to get him any halo effect.
What about the year mentoring underprivileged kids to get them college ready?
It's not too little, too late. He's not a lifelong. He doesn't have do-gooderism in his DNA.
Okay, well, that 780 though was very sexy.
Well,
okay,
believe me, I don't think I'm minimizing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 780 means they can take a bunch of kids that are, under 730. Important.
That's
for them.
true.
Important for them.
That's true.
Okay.
They'll take people with, you know what? Stanford has a lot of
What?
people who have a 760 GMAT, and the rest is totally fine.
Yeah.
They've got a ton of so that's how they get their storehouse of high GMAT scores.
Right. Okay, so you don't think he's getting to Stanford, and so his chances here are 20%.
Yeah. The question at Wharton, it becomes interesting because they're also.
Oh, they're taking this guy.
You think?
Oh, man, that's 780. You can't. No, they're not going to walk away.
John says he's going to Wharton. He could
They're
be.
taking this guy at 780, definitely. I mean, the question is Wharton good for him?
Yeah, Wharton's great for him. It would get him back in the Ivy League. He could, if he got his head straight and solved the hiccup problems. This guy, I get a feeling this guy, in the right situation with the right mindset, is an unbelievable performer.
Yeah.
And he's proven that with the 780.
Yeah.
He proved it with the 4.0 in his freshman and sophomore year, and he proved it at this tundra bank, boring snowscape, frozen number crunching bank where he managed to have some incredibly selective accomplishments.
All true. So Wharton, you're saying it's...
So if he got to Wharton and things aligned, this guy could be the valedictorian. I could see that easy.
Yeah. Okay. What odds? 50? 40? 40, 50?
Well, whether Wharton sees what I've just said is unclear. They might just not get over the silver job with the big bank and the low GPA. The low GPA for them is just a beauty contest issue. There's no question about whether this guy could do the work at Wharton.
It's got to be 40%, 50% at Wharton with a 780.
I'm calling it 30 to 40%.
Oh, you're conservative.
Wharton is, you'll have to show me a lot of people at Wharton who are off the grid. This guy's off the grid a little bit.
A little bit.
You show me the white males at Wharton who are off the grid.
Yeah.
You're the one who goes out and visits these places. Have you met any?
Maybe not. Maybe not at Wharton anyway.
Here's one of my favorite kind of simple questions. American white males at Wharton from commercial banks. Just state it that way.
Yeah.
What do you think we're talking about? I think it could be zero.
No way. They've got a lot of people from Citi and B of A, and
you think?
I think so.
Well, please write in if anybody knows this.
Okay, Harvard. You're doing your mind dance.
I'm actually thinking. Yeah. So folks, you're seeing something very rare. You're actually seeing someone think. Ain't going to happen.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. And it's not going to happen because of the
Everything
quirks in here that we mentioned, right?
They got Harvard. Harvard says, what we got here is a guy in finance. That's a very crowded bucket at Harvard. And the guys, aside from the 780, which Harvard will go for, but a 780 gives Harvard, Stanford, and Wharton all like 780s. Harvard likes it the least. Okay,
That's true.
in other words, Stanford and Wharton are really gaga over a 780. Harvard would like it, but they're not entranced by it.
Yeah.
Stanford and Wharton, when they see a 780, they go into a trance. Okay, Harvard. So what we got at Harvard is a guy in the finance bucket. Harvard's got a lot of guys with 760s, and they'll say, screw the 20 points. We'll take the 760 guys from gold-plated PE firms.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Right. Okay, so Harvard 20%.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's get to his target schools. I think his chances at every one of these is exceptional. Kellogg, Tuck, Ross, Darden, Fuqua. Start with the highest ranked school, Kellogg.
Well, John, you may have to take over this. You know, I don't have a real other side of the decimal point sensitivity toward the difference between Ross and Fuqua. Do you?
Oh yeah, sure. Fuqua is actually great at looking holistically at an MBA candidate. The 70-80 obviously is gonna just throw him off the pile at every place here, but he wouldn't need a 780 to get into Fuqua. I think Kellogg, he's a good candidate for Kellogg, because if you look at the data in the last 5 years, the one prominent school that has increased its GMAT score more than any other is Kellogg, and yet we don't think of them as, a GMAT-centric school. But they're going to like the 780, like everybody's going to like it, but they're going to like the other parts of this profile, that he's a real go-getter, that he succeeded, that he overcame adversity.
I disagree.
He overcame some adversity and got to the Ivy League.
I just reading the tea leaves here based on nothing but the presentation, the self-presentation in the note to us. This guy's not a Kellogg type. He's an individualist. He's not a team player. He's something of an idiot savant. That's exaggerating both.
His mentorship of the underprivileged kids.
I view that as nominal. I don't see him as I know that this type of personality, and I respect it.
Yeah.
He's a real smart, tough, slightly screwed up guy that when he gets his act together, could be one of these people who say, when he's your boss, you go, look, the guy's really smart, but he's a pain in the ass. Okay, you know that kind of boss?
Yes.
That's the way this guy reads.
How do you read that in this profile?
That's just the way I read it. That's just the way I read it.
Okay, what are your odds for him at Kellogg?
I don't know, but
30-40.
The more interesting question than the odds are, is he a Kellogg type? And I do not view this guy as a funny, hail fellow, well met, and I don't view him as a collaborative team player. It's not to say he isn't. I view this guy as slightly sharp elbows. I like to perform well, and I like to do it alone. That's the way I view it.
Yeah.
There's nothing here that reads teamwork, clubs, collaboration. Okay?
So what do you put his odds at?
At Kellogg?
Got to give him at least 30-40
Yeah,
because of the 780.
30 to 40, but
The 780 is just,
30 to 40.
it just
Ditto
is
for Tuck,
unbelievable.
okay?
Yeah.
What happens at Ross, Darden, and Fuqua and Haas, as you pointed out,
50 plus.
Yeah, they then go,
just,
look, we'll put
wow.
up with we don't have a type. This guy is worth taking a chance on.
Oh, totally.
That's the way they look at it.
And this guy is going to get his MBA, and he's going to perform as well in whatever job he gets as he has at this commercial bank. He's going to blow it out. He's going to blow it out.
If this guy gets his act together, he's a high potential individualistic, real smart leader, okay? It's possible. Now I'm going to tell you a fairy tale. It's possible a guy like this could really get value from an MBA program because it'll teach him different leadership styles. You see, this guy could go to business school and learn how to be more collaborative, learn how to function in teams, and that could round him out as a leader. Okay?
Yeah,
that was
true.
just, folks, that
That's
was
true.
a fairy tale of such colossal power that even John is falling for.
No, but this is true. This is really true. I mean, this is what,
No, that's not going to happen. What the guy's going to do is go to business school. If he gets his individualistic act together, he will graduate from business school as a high performer. Okay? He then presents himself to employers as a guy who was, salutatorian at, however you pronounce that, at Wharton and a 780. Okay?
right.
There are employers who go, you know something? We got enough team players here. Let's get the really smart guy.
Okay, but Sandy, an MBA is as much about professional development as it is about statistics, finance, and accounting. You're making a funny face. You don't believe it.
No, I do believe it.
They sand down
John,
the rough edges.
No,
okay?
John. Let me tell you. I do believe that.
Yeah.
And do you know how much it is about either? Zero. That's my point. It's not about any of that stuff. It's just about meeting friends and making connections and getting in. An MBA is about getting in.
Well, you're getting in. You're getting in. You're going to make connections. You're going to get a great job. We're cheering for you, right?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. All right. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. I'm here with Sandy.
Shalom.
Shalom.
HBS, the HBSguru.com.
We'll see you on the road to your MBA.